Good evening, everyone. Buenas noches. Good evening, good evening. We're gonna kindly ask everybody to start taking their seats. Welcome to NJIT. Welcome to this special event. Bienvenidos a este evento especial, the celebration of NJIT becoming a Hispanic Serving Institute. That deserves a round of applause. My name is Nicolás Fuentes Zuluaga, and I have to say my full name because my mom is watching. Hi, Mom. And I am the co-chair of the Hispanic, Latinx, and Leadership Council here at NJIT. Thank you, thank you. And let me tell you why this event is so special. Back in 2015, when I was a freshman here at NJIT, I didn't know if I was able to afford or even go to college. As a first-generation college student, like many of you today, I had the daunting task to be the family doctor, the family interpreter, and the family lawyer to navigate all the medical documents, financial documents, when we were navigating my parents and our life's difficulties. Like many of you, as a first-generation college student, I did not have the network or the professional support for my career trajectory. However, NJIT changed that for me. And let me explain why, as a co-chair, the HLLC is a big part of why we are here tonight. Now, everybody loves diversity. Everybody loves inclusivity. But what's one thing that always happens after that month of inclusivity is over, the hashtags are gone, and all the lights turn off? There's one thing that is missing. It is intentionality. That's where the HLLC comes in. We are intentional in advocating, supporting, and growing the Latinx student pipeline through what means? Through programs and initiatives that are intentional to connect student groups with campus partners. The HLLC runs a program called Café con Conexiones, which is intended to connect students with campus partners, alumni, and a lot of our donors and our partners that are part of NJIT to give back to students. We also, like I said, partner with campus partners, leaders, and corporations inside of our community to make sure that our pipeline has somewhere to look forward to, that they have managers, executives, folks that they can look at and see and say, I look like that. That person looks like me. Hey, that person has a similar last name as me, and they eat the same food as me as well. Now, I want to focus on where the HLLC and this whole celebration about an HSI comes into play. Now, we are at an engineering school, so math is king. So let me give you a quick data and statistics course. So as you can see on the screen, you can see since fiscal year 2016, Hispanic enrollment was flatlining at NJIT. In December of 2020, the Hispanic and Latinx and Leadership Council was formed with the intention, again, I reiterate, the intention of growing the Hispanic pipeline of students here at NJIT. And what happened? You guys can tell me what happened. You guys are all bright? Yeah? Yes. Now, you can see the growth. And I want you all to take the time to look at the growth. That growth is not a mistake. That growth is not on accident. That growth is due to the intentional efforts by the university and the HLLC in putting students first, resulting in February of 2024 receiving the federal designation as a Hispanic Serving Institute here at NJIT. That deserves a round of applause. However, we couldn't do it alone because the strongest word in our community, in the Latino community, is familia, and it's family. And we could not have done this without the help of our sponsors. So I want to ask representatives from Bank of America, Emerson, and Verizon to please stand so we can thank you for sponsoring and partnering our events. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because without you, we would not be where we are today. Now, certainly, last but certainly not least, I would also like to thank all the board members of the HLLC, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. So if you're part of the HLLC Council Board, please stand so we can also recognize you and thank you for all of your hard work. Thank you. Thank you. Now, that's enough of me. Now, I would like to take the time, and please join me to invite Dr. Tech Lim, our president of NJIT, for some opening remarks. President Lim.
Thank you, Nick. So my name is Tech Lim, president of NJIT. Actually, correction, I just learned this afternoon I have a Hispanic name. Let's see if I get it correct. Tequistitos, is that right? Tequistitos? You can call me Tequistitos. So anyway, I am so very happy to be with you for this wonderful occasion as we celebrate the beginning of the Hispanic Heritage Month at NJIT. Right? Good. That's the hand. In fact, we are incredibly proud because for the very first time in NJIT history, we are designated as a Hispanic serving institution. I know I'm preaching to the choir and you have heard of me saying this multiple times, but we cannot say enough, right? We're designated as a Hispanic serving institution. So this is fantastic. This is fantastic. So I would like to begin by thanking the Hispanic and Latinx Leadership Council. You saw the graph, okay? Cause and effect. And their co-chairs, Angie Oganda, Nick Fuentes, and the HLLC Chair Emeritus and current Chair of the Foundation Board of Directors, my very good friend. Can I call you friend, Bob? Okay. Bob Medina. So as well as all members of the council and the NJIT staff for their work in putting this event together. I saw Steve Eck back there. He's part of the HLLC, and without the work that he and the enrollment officers did, this wouldn't have happened too. This is a true partnership. I would also like to welcome one of my supervisors, Trustee Lisa Charters. Thank you for joining us today, Lisa, and for all that you do on behalf of NJIT. She challenged us, she pushed us, but at the same time, she really advocates for NJIT. Couldn't have another best ambassador for NJIT. So NJIT is one of the most diverse universities. Again, I'm preaching to the choir here. In the nation, okay? I came from Texas. University of Texas at Arlington is also a Hispanic serving institution. But the diversity of the Hispanic population at UTA is none like here. Within our Hispanic and Latin community, you are diverse. We have folks from Puerto Rico, we have folks from Ecuador, we have folks from Mexico. It's very diverse even within yourself, okay? And it is phenomenal that we receive this recognition by the U.S. Department of Education as a Hispanic serving institution. Not an easy task. Okay, the graph makes it look so easy. Believe me, if you speak to every one of the HLLC members, our enrollment office, our deans, our faculty member, the president's cabinet, board of trustees, it is not an easy feat. Okay, this is you cannot imagine how significant this accomplishment is. So we are very proud to rank among the top 20, in addition to being a Hispanic serving institution in the nation, and #1 in New Jersey as a top producer of Hispanic and Black engineers. Top producer. Thank you. I feel like in a political rally here, so thank you. Diversity, as you may know, is among NJIT's greatest strength, because it is essential for learning and for innovation. Think about it. When our students graduate, who do they work with and work for? It's a very diverse world out there. What's the best place to have a training of diversity? Here at NJIT. So bringing together people with varied background, different background, from different culture, and with unique life experiences informs thinking while spurring creativity and enhancing problem solving. It also strengthens team dynamics. It really do, believe me. Studies have been shown over and over again. You put a very uniform top performer and you compete with an average diverse group. The average diverse group always wins. Okay. And you know that. So again, I'm preaching to the choir here, but you all know this, and Nick alluded to that intentionality. You all know that just being a diverse campus is not enough. Just being a diverse campus is not enough. We need to be intentional about embracing the value that diversity brings and fostering its growth. In other words, we need to monetize our diversity. We need to use our diversity to strengthen our academic program. We need to use our diversity to get support from the community. We need to use diversity, okay, to enhance the learning and the teaching that's going on this campus. Diversity, in my mind, in my opinion, is one of the NJIT's greatest areas of opportunity for the future. It is the greatest area of opportunity for the future. Now, while we are already one of the most diverse universities in the nation, we must continue to attract more students, more faculty from underrepresented groups into the STEM disciplines. That is the only way for our nation, United States of America, greatest nation in the world, one that adopted me because I'm an immigrant, obviously, gave me a good life, a good education. This is for this nation to meet the demands for professionals in these fields. Without these professionals, the country is not going to move ahead economically and technologically. So everybody has to get involved, everybody. So as the largest generator here at NJIT, as the largest generator of technological knowledge and talent in New Jersey, you know that, okay? NJIT transforms industry and it changes life. Do you know that New Jersey has the highest concentration of scientists and engineers in the whole country? On top of that, a third of the scientists and engineers working in New Jersey today, including those that immigrated from like Lehigh or MIT, which is the other NJIT of Massachusetts, okay, including those students, okay, a third of them receive a degree from NJIT, a third, okay. So broadening the participation in the STEM fields will be an essential component of our new strategic plan that we call Becoming the Nexus of Innovation. Some of you have heard about this before, so if you are, it's never bad to reinforce what our strategic plan is, okay? I want to get to the point where every one of you can just regurgitate this strategic plan without thinking about it. Nexus of Innovation, which means it's a physical, it's an intellectual focal point for innovative ideas, innovative actions, and innovative people, okay? And diversity supports that 100%. We also need to make certain that there are pathways available to positions of leadership across the STEM disciplines for qualified individuals who are underrepresented in those fields. We have to have a pathway. We don't want to have glass ceiling, bamboo ceiling, whatever ceiling you're calling it. We should have those ceilings removed so there's a pathway. If you are capable, if you have the ability, that opportunity should be given to you. So as part of our efforts to accomplish these goals, we have made a concerted effort to engage with the Hispanic and other underrepresented communities in order to build the STEM pipeline among pre-college students and attract those students to our great institution. I need all of you to be ambassadors. Go out and tell people, hey, go to NJIT. Go to NJIT. You know, they might ask you, how much does it cost? We are very affordable. Our in-state tuition is about $18,000 a year. The average out-of-pocket cost for a New Jersey resident attending school here is only $6,000 a year. Your parents, for students, okay, your parents pay more to buy a car for you to commute to campus than you pay tuition to campus. It's very affordable. We know our degrees are already very attractive. So put the word out there. And our Hispanic, Latinx, and Leadership Council is providing an outstanding forum for students to develop relationship with Hispanic and Latinx alumni, businesses, and organizations. So, Nick, you got big shoes to fill. You know, Bob did such a great job, and some of the others, they came before you. So you need to start eating those proteins so you can grow your feet to fill out those shoes, right? Anyway, becoming a Hispanic serving institution was one of the primary goals of the council, the HLC, as Nick so eloquently expressed when it was formed in 2020. Guess what? Mission accomplished, right? But there's always a big but, right? We still have a lot of work to do. The work is critically important and absolutely essential to our university's future success. At the personal level, at the other HSI R1 event that we had earlier today, that Trustee Alyssa Charters spearheaded, I shared this. So you'll hear it again if you were there. At the personal level, this is bittersweet for me. Why? Well, while I was in Texas, I was one of the co-founder, presidents, and chancellor of the Hispanic Serving R1 Alliance. Today, it is known as HSRU, Hispanic Serving Research University. You know how many of them are there? 22. There are 22 nationwide Hispanic Serving Research University. So when I left Texas for New Jersey, best choice. This is great here. The Garden State, right? I was kicked out, kicked out of the alliance because NJIT at that time in 2022 is not a HSI, even though it's a research university, an R1. And I told the group in my last meeting, I will be back. Sure enough, within 2 years, I am back. Thank you to HLLC. So earlier this year, NJIT was invited into the alliance. You cannot apply a membership. You have to be invited into the alliance. And NJIT became a member of HSRU, and I again become a member of the presidents of HSRU. So, I rekindle old friendships through that. So one of the major goals of this alliance is to significantly increase the production of Hispanic doctoral students. Okay, that's one of the goals. Why that is critical? Because that is a pipeline to CEOs, presidents of universities, and all the top-level positions that we need some diversity of thinking so that this country can move ahead economically, technologically. So, I don't mean to pat myself in the back, but as you can see, I have been promoting, I've been supporting, I've been advocating for HSI for more than 7 years now. Naturally, I'm not Hispanic, okay? But for all practical purposes, I'm Hispanic too inside. That's why I'm called Techie Tito's. So thank you for joining me today in celebrating this designation and the Hispanic Heritage Month, and in doing the work that remains to be done. Cannot be complacent. There's still all the work to do. While talent is everywhere, as I've always stressed over and over again, opportunity is not. Talent is everywhere, opportunity is not. NJIT, I hope, and will continue to be an engine of opportunity for everyone, especially the Hispanic and Latin population who wants to come here to be successful. We will help you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. And so I actually, President Lim and I, we did not plan this, but for our next speaker, I had a really long conversation with him. When Mike and Bob approached me to become the co-chair of the HLLC, I said, oh, Bob, what's your shoe size? Because I have really, really big shoes to fill. And what I want to mention is that Bob doesn't only have big shoes, he wears a lot of hats. Bob is the co-founder of the HLLC here at NJIT, and he is the chair of the board of the NJIT Foundation here. So I want to invite Bob for our keynote speech. Bob Medina. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick, and thank you, President Lim. You know, Hispanics or Latinos, we're many different things. We're white, we're black, we're Asian. So I welcome you as an honorary Latino to our, as Nick says, familia. I accept. So tonight I'm going a little bit old school. I don't have anything typed up. I don't have anything on my phone to speak, but I wrote my thoughts down on a piece of paper like I've done for many years. Those who have known me know that I've been hanging out here at NJIT for about 50 years now. I'm looking forward to next year when I get my official Golden Highlanders pin representing. That represents 50 years of graduating from NJIT. But I got engaged back in 2013 when former President Joe Bloom approached me. He knew I had just retired from my engineering company and had some spare time, and little did I know what the commitment was. As Nick said, wearing a lot of hats and spending a lot of time. And I want to thank my wife, Patricia, for allowing me the time to do what I do here at NJIT. So as we celebrate NJIT becoming a Hispanic serving institution, I wanted to discuss the journey that Hispanics and Latinx peoples have taken to get us here today. You know, this year NJIT has chosen the theme for Hispanic Heritage Month to be Hoy, Mañana y Siempre, agents of strength and unity. And yes, our journey has been one of strength and unity, but also vision, exploration, and innovation. So I'm going to start our journey here by going back to the original Hispanic influence in the Americas, the journeys of Christopher Columbus with his Spanish ships and crew in 1492. And don't worry, I know I only have 1 hour to give my talking points. And you know I'm only joking. Nick knows me better than that. I'll do this in less than 7 minutes. Columbus brought the Hispanic culture to the Americas. Some say for good, and some say otherwise. But it certainly changed the entire continent of America. Although he never set foot on North America. You know, he only landed in the Caribbean and parts of South America. His 3 trips launched future explorations from Spain and Portugal that eventually resulted in 33 Latin American countries. And as Dr. Lim mentioned earlier, many of those countries are represented right here at NJIT. We really are diverse. I know Steve puts out statistics on our students, and I was looking over it, and it's amazing, not only Latin American countries, but foreign countries and the origins of foreign countries of our student body. So, although our history books talk about our first settlement in North America being Jamestown in Virginia in 1607, the fact is that the first Spanish settlement in North America was in St. Augustine, Florida in 1565. So 60 years earlier than the British established a settlement in Jamestown. So for the last 460 years, Hispanic and Latinx culture has influenced American life in science, in music, food, religion, and all aspects of our life. Fast forward to 1776. And again, you may not know this, but Hispanic territories in Florida, Texas, and Louisiana supported the American Revolution and were engaged in, again, supporting the colonists. Now let's fast forward, and I said I was going to do this in 7 minutes, right? So let's fast forward another 85 years to 1861. And the Spanish colonies of Florida and the country at the time of Cuba were the first North American territories to have safe sanctuary for slaves fleeing from Georgia and other southern colonies during the Civil War. 25 years later, in 1885, Newark Technical School was founded and opened its doors with 88 students. The school was started because Newark was a thriving industrial city with factories started by Thomas Edison and his rival, Edward Weston. And those students that are here and alumni remember Weston Hall. That's why it's named actually after an industrialist who was a competitor of Thomas Edison. In the 1920s, the Newark Technical School became Newark College of Engineering. And in 1973, it evolved into New Jersey Institute of Technology with the addition of the School of Architecture. Okay, that brings me up to date on my journey to NJIT. As I go forward, I wanted everyone to think about their family's journey and their journey here today. Because, yes, Hispanics, Latinos, familia is the most important thing to us. And we have to honor the journey of our ancestors, the journey of our families that brought us here to this country that has given us so much. I was born in New York City. My parents were from Cuba and Puerto Rico. And they came here for economic, political, and health reasons. When I attended NC at the time, when I graduated in 1975, there were only 17 Hispanic students in that graduating class and only 9 women. We've come a long way. One of the richest men in the world, Warren Buffett, recently said, every person that is living today is living better than John D. Rockefeller lived in 1930. If you don't know John D. Rockefeller, he was one of the richest guys back in 1930. And he's right, because education, medicine, technology, life expectancy, they're all better. We're all living better lives today than the millionaires were living, 100 years ago, or less than 80 years ago. And for all the students and recent graduates here, you've chosen a very wise career path. The #1 profession for self-made millionaires is engineering. It's not a doctor, it's not a lawyer, it's engineering. So congratulations on your path forward. So in 2020, NJIT rolled out its 5-year strategic plan, and within that plan was a goal to become a Hispanic serving institution. It made sense. The demographics of America are trending such that Hispanics will make up the largest share of school-age students over the next few decades. So we launched the Hispanic and Latinx Leadership Council to advance a concerted and sustainable effort to achieve the goal of becoming an HSI. And we recruited leaders from the community in education, in business, alumni, and non-alumni. We got NJIT leaders in various departments like the Alumni Development and Alumni Relations Department, enrollment, government affairs, faculty, and board members to guide us. And we partnered with several student organizations that also represented the Hispanic and Latinx community. So now, I know Nick did this before, but Nick, I don't think you got enough of the people to stand up, because it's not, what I want to do is acknowledge everybody that over the last 4 years has helped us get to this point. And it wasn't just the HLLC members, it was all the support that we also got from the various departments. So if the HLC members, again, could stand up once more, and I'm going to pick on the others that didn't stand up the first time. So, Elisa, Board of Trustees, our second Latina Board of Trustees member, and an original HLC member, if you recall, Elisa. Mike Wall from the Development Alumni Relations, our liaison. Yeah. Clarissa, who's been helping us with graduate students, and I'm overjoyed to hear President Lim talk about doctorate students and how we need to support doctorate students, because a lot of you may not know, and I do as chairman of the board of the foundation at NJIT. We raise a lot of money for scholarships, a lot of money for endowments to support our students, but there's very little money actually in scholarships for graduate students and doctoral students. So we need to change that, and we're going to work on that to make sure that we keep supporting them all the way through their doctors. Thank you, Clarissa. And Steve Eck. Steve, who, you know, everyone knows Steve and what he's done and how he's recruited. Marie Andrade with New Jersey Gear Up Pipeline. Patrick Young in career development, you know. Right, what we do is we train students for a career, not a job, a career. And we couldn't do it without Patrick's department in terms of, you know, getting firms to come in here and look at our students and hire our students. And we have several of those alumni here, like David Vargas from 2015, Olga Garcia, you know. So I think entrepreneurs like Jose Espinoza. Jose, that's you, yeah? So thank you all. I want to thank you because today we could not be in HSI without your support and hard work. We did it in 4 years, not 5. Yeah. Again, I don't have any graphs because I'm going old school here, but I'll reiterate. We went from 20% undergraduate enrollment to close to 30% undergraduate enrollment in 4 years. And it wasn't just for Latinos and Hispanics, also for women. As I mentioned earlier, when I graduated, there were only 9 women in the graduating class. Our women enrollment now at NJIT is close to 30% as well. But as Nick said, the work's not over. So we're now in the process of working with President Lim, with our provost, John Palesco, with Dr. David Jones, our chief diversity officer, to implement the initiatives we need to support our Hispanic students going forward. So as I complete my thoughts on our Hispanic journey, let's look back to ayer, yesterday. Over 500 years of Hispanic influence in American lives. And I ask you all to support our HSI initiative, Hoy, Mañana, y Siempre, as agents of strength and unity. Que Dios lo bendiga. God bless you all.
Bob, thank you so much. Thank you for taking us through the years. Thank you, Bob, for that history lesson and for sharing the importance of Hispanic enrollment here at NJIT and how far we've come as a university. But now I think we all can agree that we're here and we're celebrating in HSI because we care about the students and we want to put the students first. So it's come now the time to invite our student speaker for tonight. But before inviting her, we got to hype her up. We got to hype her up. Yeah. So Larissa Cavalcante is a senior at NJIT, part of the Albert Dorman's Honors College, and she's majoring in civil engineering. Woo! Larissa is a first-generation college student from the beautiful country of Brazil. Anybody from Brazil? Woo, awesome. Now, Larissa is a rock star. you have to read her credentials here. So Larissa has held several student leadership roles here at NJIT. She's currently the president of the American Society of Civil Engineers. She's the let's lap it up. Let's clap it up. She's also the vice president of the administration for the NJIT Student Senate and the marketing director for the NJIT chapter of the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. Please join me in welcoming Larissa Cavalcante.
One second here. One second. My speech disappeared. It's okay though. All right. Good evening, faculty, students, friends, and family. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Larissa Cavalcante, and I am now a senior here at the Honors College, pursuing a degree in civil engineering and a minor in applied math. Time flies. I am a proud daughter of my Brazilian immigrant parents, and I am here today to share a glimpse of my story. It is truly an honor to stand before you today as we celebrate NJIT's incredible achievement of being recognized as a Hispanic serving institution. This milestone not only reflects the university's commitment to excellence in research as an R1 institution, but also its dedication to serving and supporting our Hispanic and Latino community. We are the sole university in New Jersey to hold both the HSI and R1 designations. This is a feat to celebrate. This designation is much more than a title. It's a recognition of the importance of diversity and inclusion at a school that is not only shaping the future of technology and innovation, but also shaping a future where students like me can thrive. When I think about NJIT being recognized as an HSI, my mind immediately goes to opportunity. Not just for myself, but for the thousands of students from underrepresented communities who, like me, may have wondered whether they belonged in spaces traditionally dominated by others. NJIT is telling us that we are seen, we are valued, and we are worthy of being invested in. As a first-generation student, I entered the world of higher education unsure of what to expect. And as a Latina woman in engineering, I quickly realized I didn't look like most of the people around me, whether it was in the classroom or in the industry. STEM has traditionally catered to a very specific demographic, and it often felt like the environment wasn't made for people like me. But my drive to pursue engineering rooted in something deeper. Growing up, my father always dreamed of becoming an engineer, but unfortunately couldn't afford to attend college in Brazil. His circumstances didn't allow him the chance to even try. When my parents were the age that I am now, at 21 years old, they left everything behind and moved from Brazil to the United States. And I took a chance at a better life. Knowing and growing up with this, I audibly said in my head, I'll be damned if I don't make the best or the most of my opportunities here. I made a promise to myself that I would live out the dream that my father couldn't and be the daughter my parents could be proud of. When I actually came to NJIT, I was able to find a community with the people who shared similar stories as mine. Them and this university acted as a catalyst for me to excel in my field. NJIT provided a space where I didn't feel out of place and made it clear that hard work reaps rewards. And this is not to brag on my behalf, but more on NJIT. In my time here, I've earned over 16,000 in external scholarships other than my full ride, held 3 executive board positions, gained experience through 3 engineering internships, and established a network that will support me throughout my career. and I owe it all to the resources and opportunities made available to me through NJIT. I am forever grateful. Two organizations in particular have played a key role in my success. As president of ASCE, our American Society of Civil Engineers, I've been able to engage with multiple professionals and mentor underclassmen, though I want to note that my comfortability in being a leader started with being a part of the first organization I was ever part of on campus, the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, better known as SHEP. So I know you guys love to stand up, so if you were ever a part of SHEP or are currently a part of SHEP, would you please stand up? Love you all. Shout out to SHEP. I was a sophomore with no intentions of joining any clubs. But I was convinced one day in the student lounge by somebody in this room, actually, that I should just come to one event. I ended up going, and from there, I somehow got roped into coming to more, and eventually found myself on the board. Serving on the executive board of SHEP introduced me to lifelong friends and mentors who I can confidently forever call my familia. I also thank SHEP for introducing me to our Hispanic and Latinx Leadership Council, another organization that has shown nothing but support to us. Thank you for your open arms and being so excited to push us to aim higher. All of these individuals helped guide me through my journey here as a first-generation student who had no idea on how college worked, and I can say with confidence that I would not be standing here today if it weren't for them. NJIT's HSI designation makes me hopeful that even more students will find this kind of backbone to rely on. I hope it sends a message to all Latinos and Latinas and to anyone from underrepresented communities that they are not alone. I hope it encourages more students to apply to NJIT, knowing that this is a place where they can not only succeed, but excel. Looking to the future, I aim to become a project manager, to climb the ladder and lead by example. I want to be someone who another Latina or another girl in STEM can look up to and say, hey, I can do that, or I can be there too. I want to make it clear that representation is everything. It's more than just seeing someone who looks like you. It's knowing that your dreams are valid and you deserve to have a seat at the table. This HSI designation is more than a recognition. I see it as a promise that NJIT is committed to fostering and uplifting the next generation of Latino students and providing a place for them to propel academically and professionally, regardless of the circumstances and background from which they might have come from. In closing, I want to express my gratitude again to NJIT for this milestone and for the support it has given me along the way. I'm proud to be a part of this community, and I'm excited for the future, not only for myself, but for all the Latinos that will come after me, because I know that together, we will continue to break barriers and set higher standards for the ones following. Thank you all.
You killed it. You killed it, right? I think I speak for the entire board and those that know Larissa. She's active. She's on campus. She's on all these boards. She's serving, and she really is the epitome of a Latina leader. So can I get another round of applause for Larissa? And as part of, on behalf of the HLLC, we want to give you this small gift as recognition for all the efforts and all the work you've put in. Congratulations, Larissa. So actually, before you go, we're just going to take a quick picture. So I'm going to invite my co-chair, Angie, the president, Bob, and Elisa Charters. We're going to take a quick picture with Larissa as our student speaker. right, so we are going to the exciting part. So I've spoken too much. You guys have heard my voice, and I am really excited to present our next speaker. So something that you need to know about Ange, if you don't know Ange, you're missing out. Like, I'm telling you right now, if you don't know Ange, you are missing out. Here's one thing. If you need to know one thing about Ange, it's the following. If you are having a bad day, call Ange. Call Ange, because her smile and her energy will make the darkest days bright. I want to invite my beautiful co-chair, Angie Ogando, to give our first scholarship.
What an incredible set of speakers we've had here today, and I'm so honored and truly humbled to be able to stand up here to do the next section because it is incredibly special to me. But before I begin the next section, there are still some people that we do have to thank here today. And so I want to thank Dr. Angela Garrettson, who's here, because she has been an incredible partner when it comes to everybody in politics and bringing them to NJIT and the exposure. And so thank you so much. And there are two very important people in my life, and then I'm going to tell you about some others, that when I came to NJIT, I'm going to tell you my story. See, NJIT was not my first choice. It was the other. But when I decided to do my master's degree, NJIT was my only choice. See, when you have been given so much by an incredible group of people, you have the need inside to give back once again. And there are two important people in this room that gave me so much, and it was so nice to see them early today during the trustee event. And I have to say this, that for me, they mean the world. And most of the people in here have had some type of connection with them. And the first is Dr. Crystal Smith from EOP, because EOP is deep in the house today. Don't hide back there. Thank you so much for standing up. Yes, you. And Dr. Clarissa Gonzalez, can you imagine? She was my counselor in EOP many moons ago. If it wasn't for EOP, I wouldn't have been connected with all of you. Dr. Clarissa said something earlier to me today. She said the most important thing about everybody in this room that you have to understand is that the Latino does not go somewhere alone. They're usually doing the following. There's a hand that's bringing them up, and there's a hand behind them bringing a truckload of people behind them, because the Latino, we roll deep, y'all. And Dr. Lim, you're absolutely correct. We love to rename people with a Latino name. Can you imagine that our liaison, the man who makes things happen here, Mike Wall, his name is Miguel Paredes. So to Miguel Paredes, thank you for the work that you do, because it really does mean the world. But there are several people here that mean even more to me. And those people are the ones that literally supported me so that I can come here, and that's my father. He happens to be here today. And so to my father, who was born in a campo in la República Dominicana, we have some Dominicans here today, who never thought, yes, Dad, thank you. Who never imagined that his 6 daughters would come to the US and graduate from college. Can you imagine we've all graduated? I know. And to my sister, who when my parents came to this country, we were left behind with her, my second mother, Ibis. Please stand up, Ibis. And to my niece, Catherine, who's a special needs child. Yes, you, my love. She is the reason why I give back and I do what I do today. I love that we have so many students here, and you are a representation of what Latinos look like. We are not a monolith. We are 50 shades of Latino. See, I didn't get here if I didn't have somebody who inspired me. And my inspiration, my hero, she happens to be here today. And her name is Judge Victoria Pratt, who happens to be in the back. And she's my cousin. When I tell you that she is a representation of a powerhouse, a change maker, and a woman who has literally lifted me up and filled my life with the words that you got it. I see you big. You're gonna make it. Those are the people we need in our lives. And your support system matters. And so I want you to remember Bob's words. He says, we do not go alone. Ni hoy, ni mañana, pero siempre we go with others. And so today it's about going with others. And for me, the most important thing is to see the students here today. The ones that get recognized, the ones who do the work, the ones who show up, the ones who say, I want to be present, the ones who say, I want to have an impact. Because you see, NJIT wasn't my first choice, but the second time, it was my only choice because it gave me the greatest gift of all. My business partner, Minoe Yoshida. I found her at NJIT. And so today, we get to do something that we have been talking about in the HLC for the last 4 years. And for the second year in a row, we are going to award two very important students, incredible students, who've been doing the work. Academically, they've been standing out, and we want to give them our scholarship. And this is the second year that we're going to do this. And so I am going to present the first scholarship to a very, very important student. He's not here, but he's watching. So I'm going to do a good job representing you today. Our first awardee is Israel Alcantara. Israel, you have a lot of people here representing you. I love it. Israel Alcantara is a determined and resilient first-generation American born to immigrant parents from the Dominican Republic and Chile. DR in the house. His multicultural upbringing provided him with a unique perspective on life, shaping his outlook and fueling his drive to succeed. Despite the challenges his families faced financially, Israel was motivated by his parents' early encouragement to excel academically, ultimately earning a place at NJIT. By the way, I met Israel earlier today during the trustee event. What a wonderful young man, so much spirit, truly inspiring. As he grew older, Israel faced increasing personal challenges, including navigating family difficulties and the loss of support during his college years. Israel is now completely self-sufficient and has worked tirelessly to ensure he will have a roof over his head. Despite these hardships, he took it upon himself to continue his education, supporting himself through multiple jobs and taking on significant financial responsibilities to stay in school. Israel's dedication to his academic journey is evident in his achievements at NJIT, where he has found success through perseverance. He views opportunities like the HLC scholarship as not only financial relief, but also as validation of his efforts and a source of encouragement. Israel, we commend you today and we congratulate you on a tremendous recognition that is well deserved. So congratulations once again. Nick?
Awesome. Thank you, Ange, and congratulations again, Israel. But the awards don't stop there. And we have one more award that we want to give out tonight. And this is also a very, very special student. I want to present the next award. If we can show the next slide, we want to present her name. Oh, not David Jones. Natalie Jimenez. Can I get a round of applause for Natalie Jimenez? Now, before I invite her to come up, Natalie is also from the DR. So can I get DR in the house? Woo! Now, Natalie is from the class of 2027. She's pursuing a degree in architecture here at NJIT. But here's something special that I want to share about Natalie. Natalie truly embodies the example that Anne shared about one hand reaching and the other hand bringing a truckload of people. So Natalie actually did not come alone. She brought her parents. And if you guys could, let's give a round of applause for the parents. Now, if you all could see what I see, you're gonna see it in a second. Her parents cannot stop smiling. And I wanna ask you guys to please stand up, and please, si se pueden poner de pie, and we wanna recognize you, because I'm going to say this in Spanish because I really want this to hit home, and it's, ustedes deben estar muy orgullosos. Han hecho un excelente trabajo. Y para ustedes es un orgullo que hubieran escogido al NJIT para que tu hija hubiera estudiado acá. Y es un ejemplo y un recordatorio que con Dios todo es posible. So, felicitaciones. Congratulations. Congratulations. So, Natalie, I didn't mean to shed tears, I promise. I didn't want to have that effect, but I'm going to invite you to come up, and we also want to take a picture with you, with Ange, and with the president, Bob, and Lisa Charters. If we could take a quick picture, we want to take a quick picture with you. Yes, we're going to invite you up. Okay, so I'm going to take 1 second to address the elephant in the room. There is one person holding us back from that food, all right? And that's the elephant in the room. But we are almost there, and I just want to take the time to introduce our next speaker and our final speaker. He is a mentor and a friend of mine. I want to invite the Chief Diversity Officer here at NJIT, Dr. David Jones, for closing remarks. Thank you, David. No pressure, David, no pressure. Thank you.
Well, seeing how I'm between you and some food and some good networking, I will do my best to be brief, but I do have a few words that I would like to share with you all this evening as we close out a remarkable day all around, a really, truly remarkable day. Just give yourself a round of applause for being part of an historic day at NJIT. I've been deeply moved as we've worked through the day and from event to event to see how much folks are really committed to our community, to our Hispanic and Latinx students, and all the work that we do for diversity, equity, and inclusion at NJIT. As the Chief Diversity Officer, it warms my heart to know that there are so many on this journey to do this work. I do want to thank the Hispanic and Latinx Leadership Council, its leadership, for their vision, their ability to come together and produce a magnificent event today. Tonight's event is truly special. It's something that you all should be proud of. If you think back to the evolution of your council in 2020, you all have created a blueprint for many other groups to follow. And so thank you for all that you have done. Thank you for what you bring to the campus and to the community, and for being the leadership that we needed to make tonight possible. Thank you. I also want to acknowledge the leadership and those who took part in the event earlier today, our HSI Fiesta, which was truly a fiesta with the Latin band. It was truly a remarkable event. I want to thank the leadership of our Board of Trustee member, Elisa Charters. Her vision to bring folks together and really make the event as what it was truly remarkable. So thank you for your vision and your leadership. I also want to thank our Chief of Public and Community and Public Affairs, Dr. Angela Garretson, for her leadership and collaboration to bring the celebration earlier today to reality. Her ability to reach out into the community and bring in key elected officials and local leaders across Essex County and across the state of New Jersey, including having secured resolutions from U.S. Senator Cory Booker, State Senator Teresa Ruiz, and the 29th District Assemblywomen, Essex County, and the City of New York. That is truly commendable in what we were able to do to get that type of recognition from elected officials across the state of New Jersey. So thank you very much for that. As we close out this portion of the program, I want to hit on the points that Nick said in his opening remarks. He talked about intentionality. Intentionality. Everybody say that word with me, intentionality. You see, it's great to be an Hispanic serving institution. We did the work to get that designation. It takes a lot of effort to get to this point. So we should all be very proud of what it took to get here. But it's not just about designations. It's about intentionally serving a community that for far too long has been disproportionately marginalized, disproportionately faced with barriers, and created systems that have placed them on the margins for far too long. So we are at an opportunity now where we need to address these multiple injustices and inequitable systems and intentionally serve our Hispanic and Latinx students in the ways in which we all know we're committed to. If we just sit with these designations and do nothing with it, then all of the celebration of which we've been embodying today is meaningless. The real work begins tomorrow at 9 a.m. when we wake up and commit ourselves to serving this population. We must create initiatives to ensure that our Hispanic and Latinx students thrive, succeed in and out of the classroom, and are equitably prepared for careers in STEM. You see, NJIT is redefining the narrative of what it means to be a career-oriented STEM leader. You don't see black and brown folks in STEM industries, but NJIT is recreating that narrative. It's telling a different story that the rest of society has failed to tell. We are the leaders in that, not just in New Jersey, but across the entire globe. So we should bask in this milestone. We should celebrate it as we have throughout today and throughout the rest of Hispanic Heritage Month. But like I said, the real work begins tomorrow to building out sustainable, solution-based outcomes that produces greatness among our Hispanic and Latinx students. It is our role and responsibility to act now on our commitment to this designation. So I challenge all of you, regardless of what your role is at NJIT, if you work in a particular department, if you're a faculty member, if you're an alum, if you're an external partner that's committed to this community, we all have a role and responsibility in this work. And I truly believe that we can all commit to being advocates, allies, and really basking in the commitment of what this work really means. So my friends, let us march together as agents of strength and unity, which is the theme throughout this month, and come together as we continue the celebration and continue to think about what this work looks like beyond the celebrations. Tomorrow, the Office of Inclusive Excellence will host the Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month celebration at 11:30 in the Campus Center Ballroom A. You are all invited to take part in that celebration. And at that celebration, we will continue to think about ways in which we can continue to do this work beyond just the designation. Because the designation is a milestone, but the work that lies ahead is what will really create the blueprints and the paths for our students to be successful in their careers, both at NJIT and beyond. Thank you all, and thank you again to the HLLC for putting on a remarkable event.
Thank you, David, for those words, and thank you for your partnership on your office working with the HLLC. All right, llegó la hora. The time has come. Now, before we let you guys go and eat and drink and network, we want to shout out a couple more people because it would be unacceptable if we did not recognize these folks. I want to start off by thanking someone who's worked extremely hard behind the scenes in putting this event together. I want to thank Heather Chernoff. Please raise your hand, Heather. Heather, thank you so much for all you did in putting this event together. I also want to give a huge shout out to our AV and media team led by Sam and all the media folks this year. Round of applause for our media folks. And a last round of applause I want to thank for our NJIT Gourmet Dining Services and GDS for hosting and giving us the food and drink tonight as well. Thank you. And lastly, if you show the last slide, I do want to give a quick shout out to the HLLC and some of the ways in which you can give back. Perhaps you don't have the time. I promise you probably do, but let's just say you don't have the time. You may have the money, and this is where you can put your money. And where does the money go, you may ask? Now, the money will go to many of the strategic initiatives that we had discussed earlier, such as giving the scholarships that we gave out tonight. It also funds some of our Café Conexiones events and helping bridge the gap of connecting students with campus partners, connecting students with the pipelines in our community. So, without further ado, I want to thank everyone for attending today. Thank you because you made this event possible, and I want to wish you guys a wonderful night of networking. And my name is Nick Fuentes. Thank you all for coming, and have a great night. Thank you.